Hello, Times Cryptic, let's go. Member turned with no flaws to do preparatory exercise. Nope. Discarded material by far side of the great. Being willing to get in repaired swing. Nope. Sport clubs mock hosts. So clubs could be C, the card abbreviation. So we could be looking for a 6-letter sport with C being hosted by a 5-letter word meaning mock. Not getting that. Very enjoyable taking out first female available. Sportsperson cut man with hard jabs. Nope. Suspicions of donations at prime locations. Well, the prime numbers are 2357 and so on. And if we look at the positions of the letters within donations, we see that the second letter is O, third is N, 5 is I. Well, 7 is N, so that gives on, in. O-N-T-O, on to. Okay, that was correct. And let me just finish that off, and on to means suspicious. Let me just check that. Second is O. Sorry, second of donations is O, third is N, fifth is T, seventh is O. Transaction type organised with man. This is payment. So a payment is a transaction, and then organised with is an anagram indicator for type and man. Playing on console, an unpredictable person. No, I'm going to revisit these crossing clues later because I've already considered them once. And these letters aren't in particularly great position. Love, habitual twitching of the ear. This is otic. Love is O, a score of 0 in tennis. Habitual twitching is tick. That gives otic, which means of the ear. Raised money with pub band seen on screen. Nope. Tame reindeer is one performing to music. Nope. Parliamentary supporters harass communists according to Spooner. So the parliamentary supporters, were they the Roundheads? Yes, they were in the English Civil War, Roundheads versus Cavaliers. And Spooner was somebody who got his initial letters the wrong way round, so shoving leopard instead of loving shepherd. And Spooner would therefore pronounce Roundheads as hound reds, which could mean harass communists. Fault of French motor initially with exhaust upside down. This is demerit. So demerit is fault. Of French is DE because DE is French for the word of. Motor initially is the initial letter of motor. And then exhaust is tire, with upside down being a reversal indicator. Conservative and Labour front bencher. Close. Nope. Doctor's practice by nobleman's estate reportedly housing Duke. Nope. Game where Jack has commanding position. Separate from group in market in US idly. Going round. Wow, tricky one today. Prudent, being prepared for economic growth. This is uptrend. So being prepared is an anagram indicator for prudent. That gives uptrend, which is economic growth. Now, separate from, dis something, group, in market, in US, idly, going around. No, not getting that. Confusion over plugging bottomless pit. Yeah, this is chaos. Chaos is confusion. Over is O, the cricketing abbreviation. Plugging bottomless pit, plugging bottomless chasm. Bottomless meaning without its last letter for a word written vertically. Already looked at that. Upright member is good sport, missing golf, shot. Golf could be G in the NATO phonetic alphabet. Doctors, practice. By nobleman's estate, reportedly. Housing duke. Nope. Conservative. Well, that could just be C or con. And labour. Front bencher. Closed. I wonder if front bencher could just be MP. But I'm not getting the rest. So, thin pickings from the acrosses. Coming up at regular intervals, Diane's rent. Well, at regular intervals, usually tells us to take every other letter. That can't apply to all of Diane's rent because we're looking for 7 letters. But if it applied to Diane's, it could be a reference to DAE. Not very likely. Or IN. Also not very likely or helpful. Tame reindeer, already looked at that. Fluid from pen, numpty, entered, emptied. Well, numpty, emptied is surely NY, just empty the word numpty. So we're looking for a word meaning fluid. 3-letter word for pen, followed by NY, not getting that. Sports, club, mock hosts. Yeah, this is hockey. So hockey is a sport, clubs is C, the card abbreviation, and then mock is hokey, so, and then hosts, hosts C. Now, K, is that helpful? Tame reindeer is 1. Performing to music. No. Make brownish pink shade to shelter staff. Nope. Just wondering if this could be corrode. Staff could be rod. But no. City guard circling base very loudly. So very loudly is often FF or fortissimo. But that would mean the definition was city. Okay, that's fine. Could be Sheffield, a city in England. So guard, shield, circling base, E, the base of natural logarithms, and very loudly, FF. Discarded material. By far side of the grate. Yeah, I think this is scrape. So discarded material is scrap. By far side of the, well, the far side of the word the is the letter E. That gives scrape, which means grate. Uncooked crustacean shelled. This is raw. Raw means uncooked. Crustacean is prawn and shelled without its outer letters. Now, does W help? Being willing to get in, repaired swing. Could this be anything other than way? Not sure. Very enjoyable. Taking out first female. Available. So taking out first female suggests there's more than one, which is supported by the presence of this F. And the definition looks like it's available. No. Playing on console, an unpredictable person. So I think playing is an anagram indicator for on console an. It's certainly the right number of letters. An unpredictable person. Loose cannon. Wow. That's a tricky anagram to get with 3 N's. Conservative and Labour, front bencher, close. Yeah, this is clammy. So Conservative is C, the abbreviation. Labour front bencher is Lammy. I think Lammy is the first or second name of a Labour politician who currently holds one of the offices of state, perhaps Foreign Secretary, and I think it's surname. And that gives clammy, which means close. Separate from group. In market, in US, idly going round. Wow, no more help available for this clue. This looks like it begins dis, although it could be DE. Disunite fits the letter pattern and could mean separate from group. In market, this is a hidden reversed clue. So going round is the reversal indicator, and group in, or just in, is a hidden indicator. So beginning with the D of idly and reading backwards, we can read DISUNITE. These hidden clues are often tricky to spot, although they're in theory very simple, because the words have no actual meaning beyond containing the letters. It's very easy to be thrown by looking for synonyms for those words, which are of no use at all. Exhausted. Stopped working with energy lacking. No. Doctor's practice. By nobleman's estate, reportedly, housing duke. Duke could be D, could be fist. D doesn't seem to fit in the second part of the word. We could be looking for... doctor's practice could be bedside manner. So how about the word play? By nobleman's estate, reportedly. Well, a manor, MANOR, is a nobleman's estate, and reportedly is a homophone indicator. So manor spelt OR sounds like the second word in this answer. Housing duke. Yes, by nobleman's estate is beside manor. Housing duke, housing D. That gives bedside manner, which is doctor's practice. Exhausted. Yeah, this is did. Just about. So is to do to exhaust? I think it may be, in which case did can be exhausted. Stopped working is died, with energy lacking with E, the abbreviation for energy lacking. Game where Jack has commanding position. No. Raised money with pub band. Raised money with pub. Band seen on screen. I wonder if pub is bar, in which case the definition would be band seen on screen. No. Upright member is good sport, missing golf shot. No. Okay, so where to now? I think I'm just going to start at the beginning again and work my way through. I'm finding this particularly challenging today, but hopefully we can make progress. 15 minutes down. Member turned with no flaws to do preparatory exercise. So member could be arm, could be leg, could be limb, with no flaws. If this ended up, 5 down would begin with P. Make brownish pink. Shade. To shelter staff. Nope. Being willing to get in. Repaired. Swing. No. Very enjoyable. Taking out first female. Available. Yeah, wow, this is tricky, and this is slightly alarming because it suggests that the level of difficulty with this puzzle is jolly hard. But very enjoyable is fun-filled. Taking out first female, taking out the initial F. That leaves unfilled, which means available, as in a job vacancy. And only one additional letter from that. Make brownish pink. Shade to shelter staff. So to shelter staff suggests that there's a word for staff in the middle. So staff could be rod. Aha. I think it is rod. So to produce is to make. Brownish pink is puce. Sorry, brownish pink shade is puce. To shelter staff, to shelter rod. So this does end up, but that doesn't help us massively. What about E something E? Sports person. Cut man with hard jabs. Wow. So I wonder if this is something like triathlete. Let me stick that in, because I think the athlete bit may be correct. Not many words end E something E. So a triathlete is a sports person. Cut man with hard jabs. Really not getting that, but I'm momentarily going to leave this in. Let me see if I can get the H corroborated. Blend is used in injury unit. So injury could be harm. So blend is, well, is could be is. So we could be looking for a 3-letter word for blend, then is, inside harm, to give unit. What is this? Blend. Mix is a blend, but that doesn't give a unit. Well, I am going to leave this in. Let's see if the M helps. Game where Jack has commanding position. No, I didn't look at 17 down. T and B look useful. Oh, I did look at this. I thought it might end bar. Game where Jack has commanding position. Not seeing anything with an R. Tame reindeer is 1. Performing to music. I can't believe 14 down is not yielding. Blend is used in injury. Unit. I'm just mentally running through this fourth letter. Nothing is coming up. So this triathlete may be wrong. Coming up at regular intervals. Diane's rent. So if the definition is coming up, and then at regular intervals, Diane's could be beginning with the I, I-N, or I-N-S. And then we're looking for a 4 or 5-letter word for rent, as in perhaps tear. And the whole thing is coming up. Don't know, but let me leave this I in. Member turned with no flaws to do preparatory exercise. Well, a preparatory exercise is a warm-up. Member turned with no flaws. Don't know. Let me revisit 4 down. Fluid from pen. Numpty emptied. Ooh, I was going to say runny. Fluid as an adjective could be runny. But pen doesn't mean run. So I don't think that can be correct. Now, this middle word in 9 across looks like over or wands. Being willing to get in, repaired, swing. No. Let me pause and do my brief typo squiz. Triathlete is flaky. The rest of the across is looking as intended. Down's looking okay. Yeah, so it's just the entire left-hand side of the board to go. Game. Well, surely not too many games have this letter pattern, where Jack has commanding position. No. Upright member is good sport, missing golf, shot. So, yeah, wow. This is another scary clue because I think it's jolly hard. So, a doorpost is an upright member. And then shot is an anagram indicator for good sport, missing G, which is golf in the native phonetic alphabet. So we're looking for an anagram of good without G and sport, and that gives doorpost, which is the upright member. So does that break the back of this puzzle? It certainly gives us 3 brand new letters. Raised money with pub. Band seen on screen. Raised money. Raised could be a reversal indicator, so we could be looking for, say, a 4-letter word for money being reversed. Aha, this is toolbar, and this is another brutal-ish clue, I think. Perfectly fair, but hard. So money is loot. Raised is a reversal indicator. With pub, with bar, that gives toolbar, which is a band seen on a computer screen. So no more help with 25 across. Game, where Jack has commanding position. Game. Just thinking about the initial letter. Okay, maybe the M is wrong. Blend. Harmonize means blend. So is, probably is, used in injury, harm, unit, one. So is inside harm one gives harmonize, which means blend. Game, bridge is a game. Where Jack has commanding position. Yeah, I think Jack refers to a sailor, and the bridge of a ship is a high up place from which you keep watch. So Jack, as a sailor, has a commanding position on the bridge. Great. So we are just down to the top left. Triathlete is still dodgy, but we've got R as an extra letter. Tame. Reindeer. Dancer is a reindeer, one of the named reindeers of Santa. That does corroborate the A of triathlete, which is good, although I haven't explained that clue. So tame, reindeer, dancer. Yeah, this is break dancer. So to break is to tame, reindeer is dancer. That gives break dancer, who is one performing to music. Great. B in second place looks helpful. Member. Aha. Yeah, I think this is limber up. So member is limb. Turned with no flaws. Yeah, turned is a reversal indicator. With no flaws is pure. So it's limb plus pure reversed gives limber up, which is to do preparatory exercise. Gosh, I wonder if this is runny. Fluid. Runny. From pen. Could run mean pen? No. Okay. No, we haven't really got any further help with 2 down. Being willing. So, willing could mean having volition, or it could mean having written a will. To get in, repaired. Swing. Something one's way. Being. Willing. No. Let me have another look at 2 down. Coming up at regular intervals, Diane's. Rent. So supposing the regular intervals gave us I, N, and S. Is there any expression which means coming up? In store. So triathlete is wrong. So let me remove that. But athlete may be correct. But 2 down, definitely correct. So in store means coming up. At regular intervals, Diane's tells us to take every other letter of Diane's. So if we start with the second, we can read I, N, and S. And then rent is tour. So sports person. Cut. Man. With hard jabs. cut, man with hard jabs. Well, what are the athletes? Biathlete, heptathlete, pentathlete. Maybe athlete is wrong. Let's see if I can make progress with the other two clues. 30 minutes down, good grief. Being willing. To get in, repaired, swing. And if 4 down was runny, there would be an N here. Swing. Something one's way. Nope. So, fluid. From pen, numpty and emptied. Surely numptied, emptied is NY. From pen. Certainly has to be a vowel in second place. Pen could be a prison, could be a writing instrument, could be a place where you hold animals. I think a run could be a pen. Maybe you keep chickens in a chicken run. That's a pen. Okay. Being willing. To get in. Seeing one's way. Does this mean being willing? I think it could do. To get in. Repaired swing. Well, we've got the letters. The letters for swing in this answer. To get in. Repaired. Swing. Wow. Let me remove these letters in case they're wrong. All the other letters are correct. Sportsperson. Cut. Man. With hard jabs. 33 minutes down. This has been monstrous. Sportsperson. It must be athlete. Must be. So, what about this initial letter? I'm just going to mentally run through it. Nothing, unless it's sex athlete, somebody who does 6 events. Cut. Man. With hard jabs. No. So I haven't explained 9 across and I can't get 13 across. Being willing. Seeing one's way to doing something is being willing. To get in. To get in. Swing, I think, is sway. So, repaired, could that be an anagram indicator for to get in? That will be 7 letters. Still short 2 letters. And there's no T in seeing ones. Being 36 minutes down, very reluctant not to finish this. So often you get puzzles which are well, at the easier end of the spectrum. So I'm grateful to have a hard one, but I still like to finish them. Being willing to get in, repaired, swing. So I think swing is sway. Just wondering if there's some sort of fancy and lit going on here, where there isn't a normal distinction between definition and wordplay, in which case we might need to read this twice, once as wordplay only and once as definition only. But what could this initial word be if not seeing? Wands and way looks fairly set. Well, if it ends ing, nothing else fits. And seeing one's way to doing something is being willing to. To get. To get in, repaired. So if it is an anagram of to get in, and those letters are appearing in front of sway, what we're missing is T. We've got the O, T, G, T and I. And we haven't accounted for the S, so this S looks significant. So, repaired, swing. Being willing. What could this letter be if it's not ing? Possibly an E, Sweeney. And what about this letter? No, and supposing his wands is wrong, well, wands is probably correct because of sway. Or maybe to get in means include an anagram of swing. But the O of produce and the E of breakdance rules that out. What if this is hexathlete? Hex means 6, as does sex. Sportsperson, hexathlete. Cut. Man with hard jabs. Just wondering if man is HE, the outside letters. Hard jabs, well, hard could be H. Jabs could be in Yoda logic telling us to jab or be included in what's gone previously. Decathlete, that's definitely something. 10 events, a decathlete. I feel confident about this, even though I've no idea how the wordplay works. 41 minutes down. So a decathlete is a sports person. Cut is delete. That leaves cath in the middle. Man is cat, just in a slang sense. With hard, with H. Jabs, jabs, delete. Phew. So we are only left with this wretched 9 across. Being willing, seeing one's way, to get in, repaired. Yes, yep, it is seeing one's way, and I know why. So here we go. Being willing is seeing one's way. To get is to see. In is in. Repaired is gone, as in to repair to the drawing room, to go to the drawing room, and swing is sway. So there we go. Every clue solved, every clue explained, no empty squares. Submit, submit, hope and pray. No errors. Fantastic. Wow. I thought today was going to be the day. That was brutal. That was really hard. 42 minutes is a ridiculous amount of time. I usually take, well, it's very rare that I take longer than 30 minutes, even for the hardest puzzles on a Friday. So I accept it takes longer when I'm recording a video, but even so, 42 minutes for this puzzle was a very long time. But what a beautiful puzzle. And there were so many great clues. Unfilled being fun-filled without the F. Decathlete, which I think I laboured overly much with. Doorpost was a great clue. Bedside manor being beside manor was fantastic. Disunite, a great hidden clue. Loose cannon, fabulous anagram. And runny, really tricky synonym of run with pen. Harmonise, held me up. Breakdancer was a good clue. Toolbar was fabulous, with the screen referring to a computer screen. So overall, just a fabulous, fabulous crossword. So many thanks to the Times and the setter for publishing this masterpiece. I would say the snitch for this, surely over 100, but we shall see. Maybe I just wasn't on the wavelength of the setter today. So I hope you enjoyed watching that solve. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.